Hello everyone, welcome first year students English section, Faculty of Commerce, Sadat City University. This is Reem Sobhi. I am a teaching assistant at Insurance, Statistics and Mathematics Department. This is section 5 in Pure Mathematics course on chapter 2 titled Equation of Straight Line. In this section, we hope to learn some objectives such as finding the distance between 2 points and the midpoint of the line joining them, also finding the equation of a straight line, knowing if the straight lines are parallel or perpendicular or otherwise. Let's first start with the straight line equation. The straight line is the shortest path between 2 points. The distance between these 2 points is given by the following formula. D equals the square root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. And the midpoint, xm and ym of the line between these 2 points is given by x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. Let's solve some examples in order to clarify the point. Choose the correct answer. Calculating the distance and the midpoint. Example, find the distance and the midpoint of the line joining points 1 and 3 and 5 and 3. In order to calculate the distance, we use the formula of D equals the square root of x2 minus x1, which is 5 minus 1 square plus y2 minus y1 square, and this equals 4 square 16 plus 0, and the square root of 16 equals to 4. And for the midpoint, xm equals x1 plus x2 over 2, and this equals to 1 plus 5 over 2, which equals to 3, and ym equals to y1 plus y2 over 2, and this equals to 3 plus 3 over 2, which equals to 3. So the midpoint xm and ym equals 3 and 3. So the distance equals to 4 and the midpoint equals 3 and 3. So the correct answer is B. Another example, find the distance and the midpoint of the line joining points minus 3 and minus 1 and minus 7 and 2. Again, the distance equals square root of x2 minus x1, which equals minus 7 plus 3 square plus y2 minus y1, and this equals square root of minus 7 plus 3 equals minus 4. Minus 4 square gives 16. Plus 2 plus 1 equals 3 square equals 9. And this equals to 25. So the distance is 5. The midpoint xm equals x1 plus x2 over 2, which equals to minus 3 minus 7 over 2, and this equals to minus 10 over 2, which equals to minus 5, and ym equals y1 plus y2 over 2, which equals to minus 1 plus 2 over 2, and this equals half. So the midpoint equals minus 5 and half, and the correct answer is C. Another example, find the distance and the midpoint of the line joining points -4 and 5 and -9 and 7. Again, D, which is the abbreviation for distance, equals the square root of x2 minus 9 minus x1, which -4 equals +4 square, plus y2, which is -7, minus 5, which is y1 square, and this equals -9 plus 4 equals -5 square, 25, plus -7 minus 5 equals -12 square, 144, and this equals to 169, sorry. So the square root equals 13, and the midpoint xm equals x1 plus x2 over 2, and this gives -13 over 2 equals to -6.5, and ym equals 5 minus 7 over 2 equals -2 over 2 equals -1. So the midpoint equals -6.5 and -1. So the correct answer is A. Again, find the distance and the midpoint between the 2 points -1, 8 and -7 and -1. So D equals -7 minus -10, which equals +10 square, plus -1 minus 8 square. This equals to -7 plus 10 equals 3, 3 square equals 9, plus -1 minus 8 minus 9 square, 81. The square root of 90 equals 9 and half. xm equals -10 minus 7 over 2, which is -17 over 2 equals -8 and half. ym equals 8 minus 1 over 2 equals 7 over 2, and this equals 3.5. So the midpoint is -8.5 and 3.5. So the correct answer is D. X-intercept and Y-intercept. In the graph, we can see that the line intersects the x-axis in a point is called x-intercept, and intersects the y-axis in a point which is called x-intercept. To find the y-intercept, we set x equals to 0 in the equation and solve for y. And to find the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0 in the equation and solve for x. Again, find the distance and midpoint of the line joining the points. D equals square root of 7 minus -2 plus 2 square, plus 15 minus 12 square, which equals to 9 square, 81, and 3 square equals 9, and this equals to 90. So the square root of 90 is 9.5. The midpoint xm equals -2 plus 7 over 2, which equals to 5 over 2, and this equals 2.5. ym equals 12 plus 15 over 2 equals to 27 over 2, which equals to 13.5. So the midpoint equals to 2.5 and 13.5. And the correct answer is B. Finding the x-intercept and y-intercept. Example, find the x-intercept and y-intercept, if any, of the graph of the following equation. And here he gives you an equation, y equals to x squared minus 4. And he needs x-intercept and y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0 and solve the equation for the x. So 0 equals x squared minus 4. X squared equals 4. Then by taking the square root for the both sides, x equals 2. The y-intercept, we set x equals to 0, then we solve for the y. So y equals 0 minus 4, then y equals to minus 4. And the x-intercept equals 2, the y-intercept equals minus 4. So the correct answer is B. Another example, find the x-intercept and y-intercept, if any, of the graph of the following equation. Again, to find the y-intercept, we set x equals to 0 and solve for y. So y equals to 0 minus 9, then y equals to minus 9. This is y-intercept. For x-intercept, we set y equals to 0 and solve the equation for x. So 0 equals x squared minus 9, then x squared equals 9. By taking the square root of both sides, x would equal to 3. So the x-intercept equals to 3 and the y-intercept equals to minus 9, and the correct answer equals to C. Another example, find the x-intercept and y-intercept, if any, of the graph of the following equation. Again, y-intercept, x equals to 0. So y equals 4 times 0 minus 1, then y equals to minus 1. And for the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0. So 0 equals 4x squared minus 1. Then 4x squared equals 1. X squared equals 1 over 4. And x, by taking the square root of both sides, x would equals to half. So the correct answer is A. Again, find x-intercept and y-intercept for the following equation. Y-intercept, we set x equals to 0, so y equals to 0 minus 2 times 0 plus 1, then y-intercept equals to 1. And for x-intercept, we set y equals to 0 and this equals to x squared minus 2x plus 1, and this equals to x minus 1 whole square equals to 0. By taking the square root of both sides, we can get x minus 1 equals to 0. Then x equals 1, and this is the x-intercept. So the x-intercept equals 1 and the y-intercept equals 1 also, and the correct answer is D. Again, find the x-intercept and y-intercept for this equation. We can simplify the equation by taking the square root at first. So and this equals x minus y equals 3. Then y-intercept equals 0 minus y equals 3. Then y equals to minus 3. And for the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0, so x equals 3. And the correct answer is A. Again, find the x-intercept and y-intercept for the following equation. So y-intercept x equals to 0. This equals to 2x equals 6. So minus y equals 6. Y equals minus 6. For the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0. Equals 6. So 2x equals 6, then x equals to 3. So the correct answer is B. Another example for the following equation: for x plus 2y equals 10. We can simplify this equation by dividing by 2. So 4 by 2 x plus 2 over 2y equals 10 over 2. Then the equation would be 2x plus y equals 5. To find the y-intercept, we set x equals to 0. So 2 times 0 plus y equals 5. Then y equals to 5. This is y-intercept. For the x-intercept, we set y equals to 0. So 2x plus 0 equals 5. Then 2x equals 5, and the x-intercept equals 5 over 2, which equals to 2.5. So the correct answer is C. Again, find the x-intercept and y-intercept for the following equation: y equals 5. For this equation, we already get the y-intercept as y equals 5, and we don't have x-intercept, so the correct answer is D. X-intercept equals to 0 and the y-intercept equals to 5. Slope-intercept form. The equation of a straight line takes the following slope-intercept form: y equals mx plus c, where m is the slope of the line, which is the amount of change of y when x changes by 1 unit, and it's found by dividing the change of y, which is the vertical change, by the change of x, which is the horizontal change, as follows. This is the formula of the slope. C is the y-intercept, which is the point where the line intersects the y-axis, and it has the coordinates 0 and c. The line falls into one of four categories. When the m, which is the slope of the line, is positive or greater than 0, then the line is rising, as you can see in this graph. But when the slope is less than 0 or negative, the line or the straight line is falling. When the slope is 0, m equals 0, hence the equation of the straight line would be y equals to c, and the line would be horizontal. When the slope is undefined, hence the equation of the straight line is x equals a, and the line would be vertical. Okay. Example, find the x-intercept and y-intercept if any of the graph of the following equation. In this equation, we can see that x equals to -2 and we don't have y. So the y-intercept here equals to 0 and the x-intercept equals to -2. So the correct answer is C. Types of a straight line. The line that passes through points 2 and 1 and 4 and 9 is rising, falling, horizontal, or vertical. In order to solve this example, we should first find the equation of the straight line, and which is y equals to mx plus c. We should first find the m, which is the slope, and m equals to the change of y by change of x, or the horizontal change by the vertical change. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and this equals 9 minus 1 over 4 minus 2. 8 over 2 equals 4. So the slope is 4. And when m is positive or greater than 0, we can say that the line is rising. So the correct answer is A. Another example, the line that passes through points -2 and 5 and 2 and -3 is, first we have to find the slope, which equals to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. -3 minus 5 over 2 minus, or minus 2, which equals +2. So -8 over 4 equals to -2. Here m is negative or less than 0, so the line is falling. And the correct answer is B. Another example, the line that passes through the points is rising, falling, horizontal, or vertical. We should first calculate the slope. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 6 minus 4 over 4 plus 1 gives 2 over 5. And m here is positive or greater than 0, so the line is rising. Again, the line that passes through the points is, first let's have m, which is minus 10 minus 9 over 3 plus 7, minus 19 over 10 equals minus 1 and 9, and this is less than 0, so the line is falling. Thank you for watching this video and sharing your time with us. I hope this video is useful to you. See you at the next video. Good luck.